Welcome to Ridgecrest Talk. I'm Tanya Pyle, and we're going to have some fun today. We've got some diversion set up for Ridgecrest with the Bridge Club from Ridgecrest, and the president. I'll introduce you first, Charlene.
I'm Charlene Stevens. And I'm the manager of Monday and Friday Bridge.
Okay, the manager. And then Tony Miller.
I'm direct all the Ridge games.
Okay.
Or most of them.
All right. And then Donna McLeod. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
She's the president of the local unit of Bridge.
Okay. You're the president of the local unit. You're the manager of the Monday club, clubs, and you're the Ridgecrest director.
That means I enforce the rules and set up the games and
the
all that.
Rule enforcer. Okay, well that sounds like fun. That's great. I called Charlene because I saw for the first time your bridge club.
Don't worry about it.
And so I don't want to step on those. And in the paper.
Right.
And it brought back memories of my parents playing bridge club they had a club with the neighbors, and so they would often come to the house, and the kids would be shuffled in the back, and we would be laughing as they would be laughing and howling and sounding like they were having so much fun. And I wondered, wow, do people still play bridge? And you said,
yes.
And so I think it's such a neat thing. And you actually have clubs that you said meet Wednesday or Monday and Friday.
Correct.
So tell us about how you're set up and structured.
Well, each game on Monday and Friday start at 12:30, and a duplicate game is somewhere around 3.5 hours, depending on how things go.
3 to 3.5 hours. That's fun. I know you always have a dessert, so I knew I didn't
We
dare
have a nice
show up with.
refreshment table, a large one, so if anybody's interested in sampling it, it's wonderful. We have our local people bring the food.
This is at your clubhouse?
Yes, it is. At 801 West Ward. It's in the Santiago Ridgecrest Estates Community Room.
Okay. All right. And when did you start playing bridge?
A long time ago, when my daughter was quite small, my aunt said, "It's time for you to learn to play bridge, Charlene." She said, "The YWCA gives lessons." So that's how I started.
At the YWCA you got your lessons.
And it wasn't long till I got addicted to it. I love bridge.
Well, I got to tell you, I pulled it up quickly this morning, some how-to on bridge, because I know nothing about it. But they say it's quite challenging, so I guess it is. There's something to it. You said you were the rule enforcer.
Well,
makes me think of Star Wars.
yeah, I should have bought a rule book with
no,
me.
there was
There's a little rule book on bridge, and it's, the American Contract Bridge League is one of the people that sets the rules. And
American Contract
Bridge League.
Bridge League.
Yeah, there's
There's a couple different.
There's a World Bridge Association also that has international for international.
You were telling me it's a global game.
Oh, yeah.
That people play this all over the world.
Yeah, and some of the countries that
just Americans, or
No,
it's not
no,
just an
no,
American
no.
thing.
Some of the British have been world champions for years. Brazil has been in there.
bet.
Italy's been in there, and countries like Poland and Russia are coming up in the bridge ranks now, and even China is. So.
Oh, that makes it fun. So that's okay. And so, are there sort of different rules globally, or
No, the rules are in
The rules
general
are the
the
rules.
same. There are a few rules that vary for competition. Some things are not really kosher in the United States, but are accepted worldwide.
Okay. Okay, sure.
One of the things is that if you, there are certain conventions in bridge, special bids that the United States don't use most places. So if somebody from, let's say, Italy comes over here and starts to use some conventions that nobody in America is familiar with, that gives them a competitive advantage. So they're not allowed to use those types of bids
Oh, I
when
see.
they're playing here.
Okay. Well, we'll get into that a little bit more. How did you get into bridge?
Well, like you, my folks played bridge when I was younger,
Okay.
but I never had an interest in that.
Uh-huh.
And in
Seemed
college,
like the adult thing.
well, in college, I take breaks from studying, go down and watch these kids playing a game in the basement, and they were playing bridge. So I was just watching
Really?
them, and I couldn't figure out what they were doing. Finally, I figured out that they didn't have a clue what they were doing, and I quickly became the best bridge player in the school.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Donna, how did you get into playing bridge?
I was in the Navy.
Okay.
There were 9 of us in our family. We didn't have any money for college. So I fell in love with this Navy gal that came to our high school. The Air Force was represented, the Navy was, but she was far outshining everybody. So I went into the Navy, and then, and like with Tony, what we played, if you talk to a bridge player, they would say that really wasn't bridge. But when I got out, I met my future husband. He played bridge, and so you have, if you're married to someone who plays bridge, then you have a built-in partner through all of the fights and the joys and the wins and the losses. And we did. We played probably for 40 years. So.
It's a fun thing, especially I think for parents who have kids, because you can bring the kids over and it's not a lot of money involved and you just have so much fun. They always...
Duplicate bridge is a little different in that you're traveling. If you're on a quest that we were to become a life master, they have different levels of where you can arrive at different things. I'm a sapphire now.
Oh my goodness.
And I think Tony, you're
I'm the same too.
Oh,
you're
I
a
see.
sapphire also.
Yeah.
So
I've got a
you
couple
won
hundred
some
points to go.
competitions.
Yes, competitions. We've been to the Drake in Chicago, and we
Oh,
were
how
transferred
fun.
to Ann Arbor, and so we've been to Detroit. And Ben figured out one time that it cost us $50 per point. That
Oh.
we only play for points,
Oh, okay.
and our reputations are what we live for in bridge.
Okay.
So we-
Well, we're going to come back and talk get a little bit more into those details. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much. Welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk, and our friends Tony, Charlene, and Donna are going to, they've agreed to be so kind to sort of give me some of the basics of party bridge, but that's a little different than what you were explaining as you had a different deck of cards. Was that other than just a regular deck of cards?
No, it's just a little bit different. This deck, everybody deals. This deck,
Let me see what you've got there, Donna.
yeah,
Oh, uh-huh.
That's called a duplicate board.
A duplicate
and
board.
those are shuffled and ready for you to play when you sit down.
I see.
These, everybody shuffles and you change partners and just kind of have fun with it. This, people are a little bit more
Confident in
not
With those shuffles?
serious. but-
Competitive.
Yeah, competitive. That's probably a better word.
that.
Everybody plays
But there's
the
a reason
same.
why they do it differently for the competitive group. Why?
Well, everybody plays the same hands. In other words, you're playing, let's say there's 8 different tables going on. In a big tournament, there may be hundreds of tables going on, all playing the same, exactly the same hands. And you're not scored about what you do in the hand, but how many people you beat that are playing the same hand. So that's how you get scored in tournaments. So
And so why is that important for the tournament?
It's just a way of keeping track. This
Okay.
number
As to what
is
hand
board
you're
36. Yes,
Yep.
what hand you're
on?
on.
Okay.
So you're probably given 4 of these per table, and everybody has a direction that they sit, north, south, east, and west. So there are guidelines here. This, for instance, is north, and this is east, and this is south, and this is west.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, all of these hundreds of people are playing this same board.
Board. Mm-hmm.
And
Not
if
this or
you-
that one. They would be duplicated, so there's several board 36s around.
Yes, there are. So you pull your hand out and you count them and look at it and bid. And if you get to game, for instance, and the other 90 people do not get to game, you're going to get a cold top, we call it. So, and that's what we live for.
The cold top?
Yeah,
Yeah.
beating everybody.
Of
Tony,
course.
Tony at our club is a very good player. He's very fine. So our goal with Tony is to beat him.
Of course.
So when Charlene and I play together, that's our goal. We just say in the beginning.
Friendship aside.
Absolutely, absolutely. Out the door.
The top level players are very, very competitive.
I'll bet.
They have bridge systems
Uh-huh.
and good partnerships. That's two people that play together all the time and go around, travel around the world and play. Will have books full of bidding sequences that they've discussed as to exactly what these
Where they're going to go with this.
these mean.
Uh-huh.
And in our little club, we don't do that.
Okay.
There's only a couple of players that go out of town to play tournaments.
Uh-huh. Okay, but now you said that you've achieved a sapphire or status or
They give us nice titles to make you think that you've really done something.
You
that works.
You accumulate points over your lifetime.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yeah, we do. And
Okay.
you have to go to tournaments. Charlene, she needed 12 gold, and she and I played a couple of months ago, and they have at the club gold points. You get, if you beat everybody in the room, you get 1 gold point. And she did. She beat everybody in the room, and so she needed 12, and now she only needs 11. So it's a goal that you that you're looking
Sure.
for,
Sure.
and they're bragging rights. Really.
Absolutely. Okay. Well then, you brought the party deck, and who is going to sort of give me the basics of the game?
I think Tony's better at it.
Well, okay, the deck is
Do I
shuffled.
get to shuffle?
You
Oh,
can go
they're
ahead.
already shuffled?
I don't know whether
Well, I
they're
better
shuffled or
shuffle
not.
them. I might not,
You can shuffle.
trust her.
You have to watch her.
I know how competitive she is.
Anyway, they're shuffled and then they're dealt. All 52 cards are dealt out.
Uh-huh.
So everybody has a hand with 13 cards.
Uh-huh.
And
And there's 4. There's only 4 people play.
4 people playing.
Okay.
There's always needs to be 4. There's some bridge games that, for example, couples can play that are like bridge, but they're not really bridge. But anyway, there's 4 people are playing. There's a north-south pair and an east-west pair. There's partnerships.
Uh-huh.
And so, and most people, at least in the United States, use a point count system where an ace counts 4 points, king counts 3, and queen counts 2, and jacks count 1.
Okay.
And then, based on distribution, you may add extra points for shortness or for extra length, depending on how you evaluate that. Anyway, for the points, there's 40 points in a deck then.
When
Because-
you say shortness and length, are you talking about how long a person takes to make their turn?
No, shortness in suits. Let's say if
Oh,
if
okay.
you got a hand with a singleton, that's shortness,
Okay.
or a void. It's shortness. You may have only three suits in one of the hands,
Okay.
and you can add extra points for that.
Okay. Well, I am. Donna pointed out that we're not really set up for a card game here. We're set up for a Ridgecrest talk, so we're going to ask them to bear with us. And I'm going to ask Charlene to deal each of us a hand. And we've got about 1 minute. And while she's dealing out the hand, just give me some of the basics of bridge without too much detail
Okay.
for me.
Well, they said that there's 40 points in the deck. If you're the dealer and you have more than 10 points, you might have an opening hand. Usually,
But just when I pick up my hand, what am I looking for?
you're looking for how many high card points you have
Okay,
and length in suits.
okay.
So
We've got about 30 seconds here.
okay, if you have a more than 11 or 12 points and a good 5-card suit, you can go ahead and open the hand if you're the dealer. If you're not, you pass, and the next person gets to bid on the same principles. Usually somebody has 12 or more points and will open the bidding, and then the bidding goes from there.
All right, so let's just take a look at our hand. You've lost me, I'll tell you that right from the get-go.
You put the hand in the suits and you're probably out of time.
Yeah, we'll get our hand organized, and we'll take a quick break here while we organize our hand, and we'll be right back, and maybe we can play a little bit of bridge. We'll be right back after this brief moment. Welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk, and as you can see, we've gotten our hand organized, and they're still trying to help me understand what we're going to do here. They were all ready to lay down their hand with a bid, so we're bidding on where I think I am in terms of how high I am or how low I am, or long or
Well,
short.
You're starting a conversation with your partner,
Okay.
and the conversation will
Who's my partner?
Charlene will be your partner.
Oh, hi. I'm going to sit clear over there.
No, you're
You
across
would
from her.
normally sit across from
From your partner.
You're across from your partner.
Oh, you don't get to sort of.
No, you don't. She can't see your hand. You've
Okay.
got to. You
Okay.
make bids to tell her what you have in your hand, and she does the same thing.
Oh,
Now
okay.
she dealt this card, so it would be her opening bid.
Okay.
She would be the first bidder.
Okay.
Do I get to say?
Yeah, if you.
Okay, I want to say 1 diamond.
Okay.
That means I've got at least 12 points.
I mean, she's got at least 12 high card points, and she has, let's say, 4 diamonds or more. If she bids a heart or a spade.
How do I respond to that?
Well, let's see, what do you do
We
first?
go in
She's the next.
clockwise.
Okay.
So she's the dealer.
And to
then
the
me,
left of her would be
and
you.
To the left, that's right. So she bids a diamond, and I am going to bid 2 clubs.
That should say that she tells me she has 5 or more clubs and at least 12 points. She's bidding new suited 2 left. So now, do you want me to take a look at your hand and tell you what you should probably bid?
Well, you look at your partner opened the bidding at diamond, and usually you have 3 diamonds to support. So if you have 8 or 9 points, for instance, and it goes 1 diamond and I bid 2 clubs.
But the only thing that gets points are the face cards.
Yes.
Yes.
How many,
And a diamond gets how many points?
how many points do you have in face cards? I don't think you have too many.
Did you count your aces and kings
Well-
and queens and jacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, this is scandalous. You're not my partner, you're my opponent.
Okay. What you would do there.
I have here and I have here.
Yeah, okay. Normally you sort hands into suits.
Oh, into suits. So I should have grouped them by diamonds, spades, and, oh, now you tell me.
Yeah, and
Oh, fine, it's going to be like that.
I
Oh, it's
alternate
going to go
colors.
like that. Okay. Give me just a moment then.
Anyway, you
Oh, that's why you were talking about suits.
Yes.
Okay. We used to play gin rummy at the pool, so
Oh.
not a bridge player.
But those
Okay.
are similar.
Are they similar?
Yeah, at least you know what an ace looks like.
Oh, well,
And
but that's
you
been
know what a
100
trick-
years
and you know what a
ago.
trick is.
And I know what a trick is.
Yeah,
Oh.
the trick is winning
A hand?
a hand.
Okay. All right, so now I've got my suits
or if you
together
play-
here.
Yeah,
All right, I'm suited up.
okay. Now, you don't have enough diamonds to support her diamonds. You don't really have enough points to make a bid.
Oh,
So you have to pass.
So you
I
have to. So you have
pass.
to pass. There's nothing wrong
nothing
about
shameful
passing.
about passing?
Nothing
No.
shameful about passing.
It's a bid.
It's a bid. Okay. All right.
Okay, and I'm in a quandary with bid here. I would bid 2 diamonds with this, but that just says for her to bid something. I'm just cue bidding to get her
It's
to,
a Q bid.
It's a
They call
Q
it
bid.
yeah. I'm
Okay.
saying, hey, bid some,
I
describe your
forget what
hand.
she bid. She bid
She bid 2
spades.
clubs.
Oh, 2 clubs. 2
One
clubs.
diamond, 2 clubs, pass.
Okay. Does that mean you have 2 clubs in your hand?
No, she has at least 5.
At least 5.
Yeah, she's bidding her longest suit,
Her longest suit.
yes. She's bidding it at the 2 level, because now what 2 clubs means, if you're playing it in clubs, then she would have to win book, which is the first 6 tricks, plus 2.
Okay. So how many would I need to have to make a bid? I didn't have
You
enough
should
to
have-
make a
you should
bid.
have
Of a
a-
suit. Enough of a
Okay,
suit.
you should have about 9 points, 9 high card points to make a bid with this hand. You only have 7.
Okay. And so if I had 9 high card,
If you had 9 high cards, you would make a bid in this suit over the 2 clubs.
over the clubs.
Yeah.
And my ace is worth 4.
Your queen is worth 2, and your jack is worth 1.
Oh, but they're not part of this suit.
That doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, but I didn't have enough,
You didn't have enough to make a 2 spade bid.
a 2 spade.
You-
So your bids go by,
The hierarchy of bidding, clubs is lowest suit, diamonds is next, hearts is next, spades is next, and then there's something called no trump, that's above spades.
okay,
Okay, and then from 1 level to 2 level to 3 level to 4 level. And when you get up to 6 or 7, those are called slams.
so she was at the 2 level,
She's at 2 level.
which you said meant she had 5.
She should have at least 5 clubs. Some people play that you must have 6 clubs or a very good hand to do that.
Okay, or a very good player. Okay,
No,
where are
well,
we at then with you,
He
Charlene?
says 2 diamonds, I'm gonna pass.
You're going to
Okay.
pass.
That's basically telling you that I have just an opening hand. If I had a lot of points, I could make another bid.
But you did bid the first time.
Yes.
I did bid the first time, so
Uh-huh.
I'm promising 12 points.
You're promising 12 points.
But you didn't bid. See, I'm playing your hand as well as mine.
Uh-huh,
But you know from your hand, she has 12, you have 7.
okay.
You've got at least 19 points between you. So you've got half the points and we have half the points.
Uh-huh.
So,
One thing to make it easier for you, all of the cards are independent when you're counting points. All the aces are 4, but they're not linked to anything. So when you're looking at your hand to count what you have, you count your aces and your kings and your queens and your jacks, and they're independent.
Now, is there a little book that people, I know online there was a neat little instruction on basics to playing bridge.
there's lots of them. We have a bridge library over our clubhouse.
Oh my goodness.
That,
A bridge library.
yeah, we've got a lot of books that have been
Yeah.
donated by some of the bridge players. Some of the bridge players who have deceased, their families have given us bridge books. And so we have a couple shelves full of bridge books over there. And there's been bridge books that have gone back 50 years, 50, 60 years.
What do you know about the history of this game?
Well, bridge comes from a game called whist, which some people still play, by the way.
That sounds English. I don't know, where does that?
It is.
Uh-huh.
And then they became bridge whist, and Commodore Vanderbilt devised a scoring system that became duplicate bridge, where
That's what she
the
was
concept
talking.
of game came into it.
Uh-huh.
And That was in the, what, 1920s or something like that.
We've got about 10 seconds left.
And
And,
the game has evolved from then.
okay,
There
from the
u-
1920s.
Yeah, used to be very, very big with national audiences following newspaper accounts of major tournaments.
And you still read some of the, you will still see a picture of a card and bridge and things like that coming up in the paper. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. I don't know if I'm going to, oh, actually, I guess this is our third segment, so the party's over. We're going to have to dig into the brownies. I thank you all for joining me. I'm going to have you come back and try and get through a
It's
game.
been delightful. Thank you.
Thank
for
you
having
so
us.
much.
Sorry you didn't get a better hand.
Yeah.
Blame her, she told him.